Welcome to part 2 of my video, testing yourself against a chess legend. And I'm continuing the analysis of my game against Grandmaster Jonathan Spielman from England, former world number 4 and world chess championship semi-finalist for 1990. So even though my opponent isn't as strong as he was, he's still a very competent player. And I would also like to state that he's also a very down-to-earth person, because we had a really nice chat after the game in a pub in London. And he gave me some advice. He was asking about Cyprus, so also a very nice person, I'd like to state. Yes, getting back to the game, we've reached this position where I've got a very good dark squared bishop, but my opponent has a very good knight on c4 and an extra pawn. I've got some pressure, but unfortunately for me, I'm not managing to get anything yet. I did try my best to get something, because he's got a weakness on b3, a weakness on d5. If you can attack it with the queen and another piece. So I did my best. So I'm doubling up on the b file. He's developing his other rook, and now I've actually trebled on the b file. So I'm attacking this 3 times. He's attacking it twice with the queen, and he's defending it twice with the queen and rook, and he defends 3 times. So I don't want to lose points by taking on b3. I switch my attention to the a3 pawn, and now he plays h3. I'm waiting, actually, to be honest. I'm playing some waiting moves. I'm waiting to see what his plan is. He brings his queen back, potentially to go to the king side. And I play f5, or I want to sort of try and hold up any of his ideas on the king side. So I played f5, he played g4. I brought my queen over, because I noticed that he's coming over. He wants to come over to the king side, and I need to do something too. Now he's giving me a choice which pawn to take, the e pawn or the g pawn. The valuation here is about 1.70 for white. So he's nearly 2 pawns up in the position. So it's obviously good for white. I took on e4. So I saw that I haven't achieved anything here on the queen side. He's got all his weaknesses covered. So I'm now rushing to the defense of my king. And he's switching his other rook over to the king side. Potential f5. And he's becoming more aggressive on the king side. Maybe h5, potential rook f1, and then h5 could be quite good. And as stated before, it is quite a quick game, so both players don't have that much time. What my opponent has done is he threatened this rook on b7, and then when I moved it off the b file, he cemented his knight onto c6. So he's actually improved his knight from c4. He's brought it to c6. None of my pawns can attack it, and it's obviously very good for white. And you may want to play your knights and put them into similar squares as my legendary opponent did against me. And this is because this is a good example of good knight, and I have to say not completely bad bishop, but the knight is more effective than the bishop. If my bishop had could only go to a few squares, then it would have been a bad bishop. And now my opponent's just trying to make some, he's playing on the queen side as well as the king side, and he's got a passed pawn. Now that he sees the opportunity to be able to push them, he's taking advantage of this. And now this b pawn is a passed pawn. There are no black pawns which can stop it. And you do need to create counter chances for yourself, and you should always be hopeful that you can get a result no matter how strong your opponent is. And or if my opponent lets me, I will just play queen b2 and try and come over here. So you shouldn't give your opponent an easy game, even though he might have a technically won position. You should try and mix it up as much as you can, and I was doing my best. Well, I mean, if I did go for this queen b2 idea, with his last move, he can just sort of move this back or play here. I mean, the computer's also suggesting queen e6 as a good move. So when he played rook d f3, I thought I would go for a rook exchange. He attacked my queen, came back, and then he took. I took back. Now he's attacking my bishop, and he wants to check me on a8, so he's making his rook more active. I came back, he checked me, I defended, so he's got a pin on my bishop. And now he just pushes b5, and he wins shortly after. I'll just go over the moves, the last few moves. Again, because this knight is so good, it can just sort of change and choose which white squares to go to. So he's definitely got a superior position here. And I'm just trying to mix things up again, really, in the short time that I have. And even though I have a check, it's game over now, and I resign. So what do I have to say about this game? I think when you play against these really good opponents, just try and enjoy the game and push yourself to the limit. It's always good to challenge yourself, and don't be afraid. I mean, even with black, I sacrificed a pawn for piece activity. Perhaps it didn't pay off in this game, but it can in other games. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed my video. Please leave comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.